Do you want to see a magic trick? In my fuel pipe I have no pollutants, but if I paint the analyzer, I suddenly have. Hi everyone and welcome to episode 9 on the moon. And this problem is why I've been hesitant with putting nitrogen in the atmosphere, because everything I put into this room will eventually end up in same ratio in the blue pipe, and that blue pipe is used to fill my fuel pipe with oxygen, so that ratio would follow along to there as well. So if I, for example, had 2/3 nitrogen in here, I would get 2/3 nitrogen in the blue pipe and a bunch of extra nitrogen in my fuel pipe, which is already pretty diluted. And I just didn't want that. I even run the risk of diluting it so much that it won't combust anymore. But I had one thought that I thought was really smart, and that was to basically filter out the nitrogen from the fuel pipe into this main room. It would still end up being heavy nitrogen in my coolant pipe, which would again end up in the fuel pipe, but since the fuel pipe was the original source, how would it increase the level? I just can't see a reason why the rate of nitrogen would increase, because there is nothing adding to it. It's just a circle of the nitrogen. It's nothing more. There is no new source of nitrogen going into this pipe. It's just taking a different loop. But that would still mean one more filtration unit. And this problem isn't a problem if you can have a bunch of filtration units. Of course, this can be solved in 100 ways. The question is how to solve it in the absolutely most space-saving and power-saving method, because that's what we really need in here. And I had a thought that I already have an oxygen filtration unit here, and I can't really solve this problem without a filtration unit anyway. So I could just reuse this one and then basically only filter out oxygen from the blue pipe into the red pipe. But this would require a bit of restructuring of my pipes. So that's basically what I started doing, and I'm still in the middle of the project, but by having the oxygen filter basically feed into the fuel pipe, and this filtration unit is now coded to keep the oxygen level in the fuel pipe. And by finding the exhaust pipe a route down to the furnace, so it's now the coolant for the furnace. This means that there isn't really any need for my coolant pipe to be on this side at all, and I can essentially just move the whole pipe over to this side and just have it here, which means that I don't need the pipe snaking across the base anymore. I'm just basically moving everything over to that side, and I still haven't moved the active vent or the pumps, so that's coming. But this also means that I still have a canister filler, because by having a one-way valve here, I will have the same pressure in this pipe as I do in the fuel pipe, which is 7.7 megapascal. So I
Anti-critical.
I got a canister filler still, which is really nice. Of course, that means that the pressure in my canisters are indirectly controlled by whether or not the rice is harvested. So my Harvey controller controls the pressure in my canisters, which is interesting, mostly because the pressure in this here is kinda on a sinusoid. It goes a bit up and down because the trigger value for the harvest is at volatiles mole, 5000 volatiles mole, and whenever the harvest detects that it's low and it starts harvesting, it takes a while for everything to catch up, and by the point it goes above the limit and the harvest stop again, the composters have a bit of a buffer, so it takes a while for the Harvey composter loop to catch up, so it goes a bit up and down, but by adjusting that slightly we can keep the whole thing within a safe limit for the canisters as well. But yeah, the thing I'm working on now is basically to move the active vent and the pump over to this side somehow, and currently it just takes oxygen from the room, and I'm hoping to connect that directly to the cold pipe, but that would mean I get cold gas in the canister as well, so yeah, still working on it. And just like that, it's a lot cleaner up here, and we have tons of room both throughout the middle here and on this wall. It's all the blue pipes, all the cold pipes are now shifted over here, and we have the overpressure active vent and the cool pump over here, and analyzer and stuff. I still haven't started filling the base with nitrogen, so that's coming. I'm still just waiting for the temperature here to drop as much as possible. I keep adding radiators to it, but one step at a time. But now it's time to basically redo the airlock, and I made myself a laptop for the occasion. So doing this live, making a custom airlock live, is probably gonna be a challenge, but yeah, let's hope we can do it. First off, I need to replace the doors, so I'll start with that. There we go, and then I can rip out, I'll just be safe and toggle all of these off. Yeah, that's gonna go anyway. We can take off this airlock, and that's an angle grinder, and then a hand drill, and then a wrench. And I'll go grab this guy. And then we are going to set in a composite door instead. So the difference here is that the composite door allows us to use the corners, and the glass door doesn't allow us to do that. So that will hopefully be a bit better. We need a welding torch and plastic, and crowbar and glass. Just like that, that's one. And now it should be safe to do the other one. So that's angle grinder, hand drill, and then wrench. Let's see. And then composite door again. And then we need to do welding and crowbar and glass, and that's it. Let's see. Let's get our labeler here and just name them inside and outside. We can give them better names later, but just for programming. And we have hunger critical. I'm just making rice pudding for my foods because, well, I have way too much rice. And then we can redo here a bit. So I don't need this air power controller. I have set up a new one up here, and that's because we have, if I'm pretty sure we have heavy cable going right inside there, which we can take out there. And then we can probably done with the heavy cable, and then we can do this, and I'm going to go through the corner here again, and then out again here, and we can take all of these out. Let's see, and then we do this and this, this and this. Yeah, that's gonna need to go there, and that's gonna need to go there. And then we can take our sensor and place it right there, and the active vent and place it there. And if you're wondering, this pipe is my fuel pipe, of course, and I'm thinking that I don't really need to pressurize it when going inside. I can just open the door, so I don't need to take this gas and fill the airlock with it. I just need to basically vacuum the airlock when going outside. That's the only thing I really need the active vent for. And unless you're trying to win a championship in going through the airlock, that small amount of gas isn't going to do any difference anyway. So this is probably fine. Then we can stick the wall there. And then we can set up our IC there. And we can take all of this out. Let's see. I'll probably upgrade this battery. But right now it can stay a small battery, and then we can take you off. And we can take you down. See, we're not gonna need that guy anymore, and we can stick the glass in there, and then we should be able to just take this guy off. Okay. And yeah, I'm really running out of space here. And then we need to program this guy. So we're going to make a custom airlock, and I have made a custom airlock at one point, but it's basically been a long while, so we need to import. Doesn't work. Oh, I guess, oh, it's an empty ship. Let's see, we can at least clear it. We're going to need alias active vent D0, alias sensor D1, alias inside door D2. D2 and alias outside door D3. There we go. And then let's see, we're going to make basically a sequence program. So if you're not familiar with how a sequenced program looks, you're going to see it now. So but first I need to figure a few things out. So we can do set. Apparently can't type. Set inside door mode and let's see, composite door. It has modes 0 and 1 for logic, so we set mode 1 on both of them. Set mode 1. Then export. Why are you not working? Doesn't want to export code? No, definitely not any code there. Well, then I guess we reinstate the computer. So just as a temporary thing, let's do this and have to keep them on different circuits. Can't place a computer there, so that's fine. There we go. And I placed the computer there. So I guess the laptop isn't working right now. And then we can do this and this. Maybe it's the motherboard that's broken. Let's see, motherboard, IC editor. Let's make a new one. But we can go here and just copy this. So if we do this now, edit, paste, confirm, export, yeah, that works. So we start here and we do active vent, gas sensor, inside door and outside door. Right, so these should now be logic mode. Nope. Mode 1, yeah, and then if I remember correctly, I think you use setting mode. I think maybe it's setting. So need to get stuff out of my hands. Let's see, edit. Let me just set up some simple loop here. Start, yield, set, inside door, setting 1, jump start. Because that's closed, So that has open 0. This is open, so it's open 1. Look. If I hit this. No. I think there is a way to read out the button presses when it's in logic mode. And no, it's definitely not setting. It's not on, it's not open. If it's not setting, is it lock? Maybe they've changed that. Let's see. Because lock is 0, right? Yeah. Nope. Sure, it used to be a way to read when I click on the panel. Edit, let's see, lock 0, set open, set inside door, open 0. Yeah, now when I press the button, it changed the setting to 1. Right. So that's where we have to do it. So, if we do loads R0 inside door open, and then set equal to 0, R0, R0, and then set inside door setting R0. Let's see, and then yield and hold on. We need a load R1 setting, and then set equal R1, R1, R0. And then because that would yeah, let's try with that. No, I think it's come on. Edit. So it's not set equal. I don't have to invert it. I just do that. So yeah, if you look at settings, it's 0 now. And if I press it, no? Or is it just overwritten instantly? Let's comment out this one. do sleep 10. Yeah. Yeah, now it seems to be working. So it says setting 0. When I click, it goes to setting 1. And after the timer, it goes back to 0. So that's our trigger. Alright, so now we need to basically start the program. So we have the first stage is open to inside, and then the next stage is vacuuming, and then open to outside, and then yeah, it loops around. That's the three sequence. The 3 steps in our sequence is basically this, because we don't really need to do anything else. And let's see, to set up the open to inside, we need to set let's see, we need to set inside door setting 0 and set inside door setting, let's see, open 1. Yeah, I guess it's 1 on both.
Hydration critical.
And then the opposite on the outside door. Set outside door setting 0. Set outside door open 0. And then let's see how to see when the settings change. We need to do a yield, and we do load R0 inside door setting, and load R1 outside door setting, and I have pressed either of them if they are equal. So set equal R0, R1, R0. Yeah. So if this is now 1, I have pressed one of the doors. So that means that if I have pressed one of the doors, these are equal, I would have 1 here. Which means that if I still have a 0 here, I have not pressed one of the doors, so I can do a branch equal 0 or 0 and then just back up. I haven't done anything, that's fine. And then if I have pressed something, I set the, let's see, I set inside door open 0. I set active vent on, and I guess that can be inside vacuuming. And then we basically do a load R0 sensor pressure, then set greater than, nope, branch greater than 0 or 0. We just, so if the pressure is greater than 0, we are just looping back to the same stage, and we need to have a yield there somewhere, and I think I'll do that there, yield. And when it's 0, we can go to the next step in the sequence, which will be most of this, just the other way around. So these will be zeros, and these will be ones, and then the yield, and then the loads, and they should still be if they are equal. And then the branch, but that's now to open to outside, and then if I have clicked something, I set the inside door, no, the outside door to open 0. And I'm wondering if the idle one still works, but let's do a sleep 5 seconds just to be sure that the door is closed, and then jump to the first step again. And then we can remove all of this silly stuff up here, and we should set up the active event. So we set active event lock 1, and the rest is fine because it's already in the correct mode. And cross our fingers. So if I click you now, still vacuuming. Alright. Not the worst bug. Let's see, set active event on to 0. Export. No. Also here. Yes. Ooh. A little bit of extra oxygen in there, not the worst problem. Let's do another test. Let's open helmets. And then hit the button. It's vacuuming. And we're outside, and it turns off. And if I go back inside, it just sleeps 5 seconds and then opens there. 5 seconds is absolutely way too much. Let's see if it uses the idle one. Right. But that didn't really seem that instant. So we can probably get this better. I mean, it's only here that we really need it. So let's add another step then. Wait for door. Let's see. Wait for door. And then we do yield, load, R0, outside door, idle, and then branch equal to 0, R0, we just branch up to wait for door again. And then we can probably skip the sleep and export. It's vacuuming. Yeah, and back in. Perfect. So we have a custom airlock now, and completely clear this wall. And the reason why the main reason why I'm doing this trick by fueling, like just vacuuming it into the fuel pipe, is so that we can get rid of yet another passive vent. So I'm a bit curious how much that bug affected this. Oh yeah, it had a bunch of oxygen in there. But yeah, it's not a problem. It's gonna be balanced out pretty soon anyway. Wasted a bit of oxygen, but we produce so much, it's fine. But yeah, it seems like the vent is the airlock, custom airlock is now working, and we can toggle it from both sides, so I can cycle it from here and cycle it back from here. Nice. So we'll see how much this affects it. Like that one cycle equaled 1% extra oxygen, and right now it's 30% there, and that's because the bug and it stayed on. But I mean, if I add 1% extra oxygen in there every time I cycle the airlock, it's really not a big problem, because we produce hydrogen constantly, and the filtration unit is running to fill it with oxygen very often anyway, so yeah, it's not a problem. Even if we have nitrogen in here, the difference just isn't gonna make a huge dent. But that also means that we have absolutely this entire wall free. We can remove this cable. And yeah, so the next step is probably to clean up this corner here. So I think I'll set up a centrifuge and a recycler and just start cleaning things. And I also brought in all the garbage from the lander, so we can get that sorted as well. And that gave us a bunch of ore, apparently. That's always nice. So I guess we just throw it through the furnace. And I currently just have the furnace set to 1000 degrees and 1000 pressure. That's good for most stuff. And with that out of the way, we have the whole room down here cleared out, and I have moved the storage up there temporarily. And we are ready to tackle the crafter setup here. And in between the last shots, it has basically passed a week in real time, and we have the combustion update currently live on this save, and it seems like the gas fuel generator generates like a tiny bit less power, but it's about the same. Everything seems to have converted to the new combustion system all nicely, now that we have fuel in a separate pipe instead of having it in the same pipe as we had before. But other than that, it seems to operate just as before. But yeah, so to basically put in a logistics system here with the space we have to be kinda smart about it. So I'm thinking, first of all, we can start by clearing out everything unnecessary, and I really hope that I have everything we need to set this up again, because I basically won't be able to, or it'll be really hard to produce things if I need it underway. So let's clear out most of this. I'll leave the furnace chutes for now, because the furnace isn't moving. And with the machines out, we finally have the full floor to our disposal, and we can start working on it. And what I was thinking was to have the refrigerated vending machine about there. Somehow we'll get that to work. hopefully. It has cables there. Might have to move it to have it like there instead. Could be a solution. But I think we'll try with this for now. And then let's see, I just need my frames. Frame. There we go. And then I'm thinking to have the machines right there and there. Oops. I guess my plastic sheets went away. But let's see, so we have an electronics printer. We can mount that. So what we could do is, yeah, I think we'll have to do them all the way pushed back, I think. Yeah, something like that. Electronics printer and then autolate. Same area, yeah. And then we'll get the tool manufacturing there. And the pipe bender there.
Hydration critical.
So, and because this will allow the corners to be used for sorters, and like even just the 4 printers are going to need 4 sorters. So let's see, these are the stackers, but we'll have like let's see, we'll have stackers there, there, and then somehow there, there. So it'll be really hard to get inside there, but here works still. And to fit in 4 stackers is going to be a challenge in here, but looks to be fairly doable. I think we can make this work. Yeah, I think so. And then we have to figure out where to put all the logic. Gonna use the floor obviously, but I don't think that's enough. But yeah, if we can have the vending machine here, then you can have a look at it. Not that you really need to, but we can shoot this underneath there, into the back there somehow. And yeah, so we have this space open. Could probably do something here with the chutes and stuff, but yeah, let's have a quick look on the backside here. So we have a bit of space above the furnace and behind here, so it's possible to pull chutes in and out of the furnace through the back, I'm thinking. And that would probably work, and by centering the machines around the center, we have 2 chunks, basically 2 frames for sorters, so that we don't need to use the center floor for any of it. So yeah, I think this is a good start. And just like that, the new crafting room is at least usable. We have access to inputs and outputs of the machine, so that at least I can keep producing things. And the vending machine will take some time. I'm probably gonna set up my inventory system, but because I only have 1 vending machine, it's not really any point of doing like, there is no point in doing like input sorting, because there is no point in doing a black list or white list or anything like that. So everything is going to end up in one machine anyway, one vending machine, so I might do a custom storage controller for this just to save some space and have less logic running. But yeah, other than that, I think it's pretty much good to go. We need a bunch of logic and somewhere to place it all. And floor is nice, but I mean, we're gonna need like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then for the router 7, 8, maybe 9. Let's say 10 ICs just for this logic system, and somewhere I got to fit 10 ICs. So that's gonna be creative, and yeah, so this is the reason why I needed this wall free before I moved the machines, because I needed chutes there. And yeah, I think I'll do some of this off camera and figure out how I'll do a storage. I'll probably make a custom code, just, you know, cut some parts from the existing codes and squeeze it together somehow and get a custom code for the vending machine. But other than that, I just need to make more alloys and ICs and stuff so that we can get to work. So I've been staring at this problem for a few minutes now, and I squeezed in a few housings here. That's 3 and 2 memories. Nothing is labeled yet because I don't really know what they are going to do, but everything is the same network anyway, so but I think we kind of just have to start with some spaghetti, and I thought we could do that somewhat together. So inside here is now the in chutes for these machines, also of course temporary, but we somehow have to fit in 4 sorters in here. So these chutes here are not connected to anything, they just come back here, but that will be into this corner and out from this corner. So we are setting up a loop router, I guess, but we need the inputs to there, and we need in total 4 outputs from the sorter, so we need 4 sorters. So I'm thinking we could probably let's see, let's get some of this off, and let's take off these as well. So I'm thinking we could probably get away with that. It's kind of sticks out the window, but nothing more than that chute. So if we get that chute there, and that's one exit, and then we have let's see, we probably want to do the same with this guy. We can do that, and then have that chute go into here, and then something like this maybe. Let's get that other chute in place first, so it will probably have to go, can't go more out. So if that's gonna go there, I mean, kinda have to go like that. And something like this. But then where do we set the sorters for these two? I'm guessing it has to be there. And then I have to do the power for it first. Do I even get the power out somewhere? Yeah, because if I do this, then the power will go in there, which means that I somehow have to get from here to somewhere else there is wire. Could be interesting. We also, let's see, so we could do that probably. No, we can't do that actually, because the input one is, yeah, the input one is there, so that's fine. Input chute, so that's not colliding with the other chutes, so that's doable. And then this perhaps, I really don't want to go up because that will just block me from building up like in the middle floor. So yeah, anyway, on this side we also have a problem, and that's if we are connecting up the furnace, which I'm doing, then I'm going to need, of course, the input to the vending machine. We need input to furnace and output from furnace, and that's fine. Problem is when we get further in, because I have a pipe here that I can't really get around. So this height is fine. This can go to whatever, input or output, doesn't matter. But this here pipe blocks us. So we need to also move the pipe. And let's see if I have some pipes here. 11. Do we have more? There we go. Full stack is probably good. And if we head outside in our new airlock. So over here, it's the pipe corner in the back there. I somehow have to get around. And I'm thinking we can shorten off this orange pipe. Now, I'm not really happy about shortening the orange pipe because the orange pipes basically give us volume. And I'm cutting down this orange pipe more and more, so that means that it's less volume there for the furnace, but I guess it'll have to do for now. And then we could possibly continue this white pipe over here and go up and there, and then we can take out, oh, can I get in here? Take out some of these first, and that's a T-junction, so we just replace that with a corner, and then we go this way instead. Now we suddenly have possibility to drag two chutes on the other side there and still pull this chute above the pipe. So let's see, we probably don't need to make more ingots or alloys right now, so I can take off some of these. Let's see, if we go there, and then might as well just go more in. And then we meet it there. So now we have our output chute going back into behind the vending machine.
Temperature critical. Pressure critical. Low
And
pressure.
we can do the same for the input. Let's see if we take off these and these. and then we probably have to go up one. Yeah, might as well do it there, and then go behind here, and then we now have our 3 chutes coming this way. All connected up to the furnace, with space left in there somehow. And yeah, so over here I'm thinking perhaps moving the pipe bender and tool manufacturer just one to the left, because we don't really need to see this end anyway, and that would bring the stackers like into the room. So let's quickly do that. Let's start with removing the cables. Come on. And then we tear it down again. Let's see, and nope, that's wrong. Tear out angle grinder. And wire cutters. And angle grinder. And wrench. So let's see, let's do the tool manufacturing at the bottom. Can I? There, I'm thinking. And then this guy goes over. And then we quickly reassemble them. Like so. Question now is there still enough space behind here to do our chutes? And I think perhaps there is, if we figure out that cable. If we figure out the cable. And yeah, that might be a problem, but yeah, this will mean that the stackers come further into the room and we get more space on this side, at least. And the cable for these are easy. Let's see, I can just connect up these. So how would I go about getting the cable out there? Let's see. So this is the type of project that just takes a lot of time, because you have to basically assemble it as you build yourself out, because there's no way of getting back in once you have built it. So we need a cable there, and probably there. Now this is easy, but because we have cable there we can attach to if we have to, but we can't go through the straight chutes. So we'll have
Hydration critical.
Let's see. So we'll have one chute going from there that has to go back up. You see, I have more chutes up here. So we have this chute that will have to go up one, and then meet the other sorter there. And somehow I have to get this cable through, and I could possibly go in the back, But then I'll lose a memory slot there, which I'm not too keen on. Yeah, we might actually go... Let's see. Because there is really no way to get through here, is it? No, I don't think so. So let's try and take it outside. And then we can pull that guy over here. And instead of going through the memory, we can actually see if we find a 3-way or a 4-way could work. No, not a 4-way, that's pointless. 3-way. So if we take a 3-way there, and then can I get that placement slots? No. We move that and then place that there, and then we somehow connect it up back inside. But at least we got power connection, and up here I'm thinking we are just going basically... Oh, we could go down as well. So down there. And then in there, that's fine. So we can connect up this and then somehow connect up this. There we go. So now we got power on all the sorters, both built and unbuilt. Sorter, so we'll have a sorter there. And a sorter there. How exactly I'm going to get the chutes out, I don't know. This will have to... Let's see, we can't really work. I have to take at least this guy. Just pretend it's still there. This has to shoot over to that. And this shoots from the other sorter. Then we'll have an output. Alright. Take out this as well. So I'm guessing this will be input coming from the other side. And then this will have to be the output, but
Power low.
yeah, I might have to go, let's see, down one. And I'm out of shoots again, but I have more up here somewhere. Here we go, 10 more. And then this has to go. I could probably just pull that across on that level. This has to go at least out here. So we can go take this out and take this out and then just go corner, so that's connected, that's output, and then this goes to that one, and then there will be an output there that has to go into the tool manufacturing, and then I'm guessing we'll just have to pull that all the way down. So let's see these sorters, and can I even place them in now? No. Going to ruin my suit if I try here. Let's take out that guy again and do sorter. And then yeah, we'll turn them on later. So like that, and then this has to go into there, and we could go down and under, or up here. Thinking down and under, let's see. And more chutes. And then we have a straight one right here. And I think we are done on that side. Stacker, other stacker. So that one goes there and that one goes there. So there is a bit of space in here. I'm not quite sure what to use it for, but I guess we'll figure something out. Yeah, that totally works somehow. Right. And then on the other side we need the sorters for the stackers. For the machines we'll have to go there, and then we need a stacker for the vending machine outlets, and then we need at least 2 sorters here, but with a bit room for expansion, hopefully. And that cable has to come out somewhere. Let's see. Cable. And then has to go there and there. Could pull it over to the window as well. But then let's see. So that chute can now be a corner, and that output could be for the furnace, maybe. And then we'll have a return one for the... Come on, there we go. And then we need a return one for the vending machine. And I'm out of chutes again, and I've locked myself in. So yeah, progress is still going on here. Let's see, so this will be the input there. And if this is going to the furnace, which one was the input one again? The middle one? So that will have to go all the way over here. And we're out of chutes again. Let's see, we need a chute there, and yeah, that's fine. And then this will basically just loop down. No. So that's the output for the vending machine. This has to go down and basically just loop. So we can do that. Take out this, set in a junction. And that has to go to the vending machine. There's a lot of free space back here now. Wondering what we could do with that. That window looks like prime real estate for some logic. Yeah, I could fit a bit of logic in here. Totally. Let's see, we need the output as well from the furnace. That has to go probably in there into our sorter loop. So there maybe. So this connection goes to this one. That's fine. This connection goes to that one. And that connection goes to that one. So it's all crossing here, but I'll probably figure it out somehow. And I locked myself in again. I completed the corner in here, and there is definitely room for at least one more sorter if we need it. Maybe even two more if we really have the need for it. So there's still, you know, some space in here to use if we need the space for anything. And in addition to these logic chips I've already set up, I managed to squeeze in all the other logic I needed for this. And pretty much everything is here. We have the crafter controllers, we have the furnace controllers, crafter master routers, and the only thing that's really custom here is the storage master controller. So if you're familiar with my logistics system, I just made one IC that's both a storage master and a controller for the single vending machine. And it doesn't have an input sorter on it. And it doesn't even have an output sorter. So it's a bit simplified, but it saves us at least one IC and a couple of communication buses. So that's why I did that. But everything is set up and configured, I think. So it's pretty much done. But in the process of setting this up, I have forgotten some way to have an input to the system. But that's probably the easy part, because I can input it pretty much anywhere. Maybe use this corner here, or have a chute upstairs, or I'm thinking maybe doing it on the outside there. But anyway, I know that this episode has been going on for a long enough time anyway, and it's gone in a lot of work in this episode. Probably my longest, probably the episode with most work in it. But I didn't really want to leave you guys hanging, and you probably want to see the finished result, so I thought we could just border this up here, and let's see, maybe a different orientation on this one. Yeah, just to break it up. Oops. And I think that's it, pretty much. Yeah. So we added about 10 ICs. I still have one here that's not set up, but I have a plan for it. And that really did a huge change to our power consumption. I mean, we added basically 500 watts of power consumption down there, but I just wanted to really quickly explain why I'm so concerned about power consumption, even though we now have a gas fuel generator and everything. And it's because every watt I use extra is a watt the gas fuel generator has to create, right? Now that's, you know, obvious, but the gas fuel generator uses fuel, and the fuel must be created by the composters, which consumes more power, which consumes more fuel, which consumes more power, etc. Now, luckily, this wears off fairly quickly, but yeah, 50 watt for an IC isn't really 50 watts here because of this circular causation. And I haven't done the math, but I like to think of it pretty much as double. So every watt I add to the network is basically costing me double of what it normally would, because it has that circle and you know, we need more cooling and more oxygen as well. So I'm trying to be conservative on power consumption, but we have scaled for this, so I think this is fine. But yeah, I think this is it for this episode, and in the next episode I hope to tackle this floor here, and we'll see what we can do with it. So I think this is it for this episode, and I hope to see you in the next one.